Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news. Alright, Steelers Nation, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you is a game changer. The Steelers, as we know, have been quietly building towards something special this offseason. And no, I'm not just talking about draft picks or big signings. There's a shift happening, a ripple in the AFC North that could redefine the division's power dynamics for years to come. As fans, we've seen our team go through ups and downs, but this offseason has been filled with subtle yet impactful moves and some surprises that are starting to emerge. One of the most recent and significant news stories that's been making waves is the release of a key defensive back, Josh Bledsoe. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Why does that matter? Bledsoe wasn't a household name, but what it signifies is more than just a roster move. It's a statement about the team's strategic direction, their roster flexibility, and of course their plans to optimize the defense for the upcoming season. Bledsoe, a talented young safety, had shown flashes of potential, but sometimes in the NFL, tough decisions have to be made to make room for fresh talent or to adjust to the team's evolving scheme. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. The Steelers' defense has always been their backbone, a cornerstone of their identity. From the legendary Steel Curtain days to the more recent seasons where players like Minkah Fitzpatrick and TJ Watt have been the anchors, the team has always prioritized a tough, disciplined, and opportunistic defense. Last season, we saw flashes of that excellence, but also some inconsistency, especially in the secondary. The release of Bledsoe might seem minor on the surface, but it's part of a broader strategy to tighten up that secondary, to bring in players who better fit the scheme or to give younger players a shot at proving themselves. This move also signals the team's confidence in their current roster and the coaching staff's trust in developing talent from within. The Steelers have been known for their drafting prowess, especially on defense. Players like Minkah Fitzpatrick, who has become a superstar safety, and Watt, one of the premier pass rushers in the league, exemplify the team's talent development. Now, with Bledsoe gone, it opens a spot for someone else to step up, perhaps a young draft pick or a lesser-known free agent. It's all about building depth and versatility, which are crucial for a team aiming for another deep playoff run. But beyond just roster moves, what does this mean for the Steelers' outlook this season? Well, if you've been paying close attention, the AFC North has been a battleground. The Ravens, Bengals, and Browns are all making moves, each trying to outdo the other. The Ravens, with their dynamic Lamar Jackson-led offense, are always a threat, especially if they can stay healthy. The Bengals, coming off a Super Bowl appearance, have a young quarterback in Joe Burrow who's rapidly ascending and a talented receiving core. The Browns, with their revamped defense and offensive weapons, are also gunning for the top spot. In this context, the Steelers' strategy to refine their secondary and bolster their defense is crucial. It's not just about adding new players, but about creating a cohesive unit that can withstand the high-powered offenses of their division rivals. The AFC North has become a league of titans, and the Steelers know that they need to be at their best. The move with Bledsoe might be just one of many that the team makes to ensure they're not just competitive but dominant. Now let's talk about the players and the potential impact of this roster change. Minkah Fitzpatrick, as I mentioned, is a cornerstone of the secondary. His ability to play both safety positions and make game-changing plays is vital. The team is likely looking to bring in someone who can complement Fitzpatrick's skill set, perhaps a veteran free agent or a promising rookie. The Steelers have a history of finding diamonds in the rough, and I wouldn't be surprised if they target a young player with a high ceiling in the draft or free agency. Meanwhile, TJ Watt continues to be a force on the pass rush. His relentless pursuit of quarterbacks and his leadership on and off the field make him one of the best in the league. Having a solid secondary is essential for Watt and the pass rush to flourish because it allows them to attack more aggressively, knowing they have coverage behind them. The defensive coordinator, as always, will be working tirelessly to craft a scheme that maximizes the talents of his players, and decisions like releasing Bledsoe are part of that puzzle. On the offensive side, the Steelers are also making moves. The return of quarterback Kenny Pickett, who showed promise last season, is a big part of their plans. The offensive line has been bolstered, and the addition of new weapons in the passing game could make the Steelers a more balanced team. The division is fierce, but Pittsburgh has the talent and the culture to compete at the highest level. You also have to consider the coaching staff. Mike Tomlin, one of the most respected coaches in the league, has a knack for getting the most out of his players. His leadership is a major factor in the team's resilience and ability to adapt. Tomlin's philosophy of discipline and consistency has kept the Steelers competitive for over a decade, despite roster changes and league trends. His focus on building a strong defense and developing young talent is evident in these recent moves. Now, for the fans, this is an exciting time. The NFL offseason is always filled with rumors, signings, and roster tweaks, but for Steelers fans, every move feels like part of a bigger puzzle. The release of Bledsoe might seem minor, but it's a signal that the team is aiming higher, looking to fine-tune everything to maximize their chances in 2024 and beyond. The AFC North is only getting tougher, and the Steelers are determined to stay at the top of the division. Looking ahead, the next few months will be critical. The draft is just around the corner, and fans are eager to see who the team targets to fill those secondary gaps. Will they pick a safety early? Will they sign a veteran free agent to add experience? The possibilities are endless, and each decision will shape the team's identity for the upcoming season. But one thing is for sure, the Steelers' front office and coaching staff are working diligently behind the scenes to ensure they're ready for the challenge. And let's not forget about the fan base. Steelers Nation is known for its passionate support, its unwavering loyalty through thick and thin. Every move, every game, every season is a testament to that resilience. The recent roster decisions might be part of a longer-term plan, but for us fans, it's about believing in the process, trusting that the team's leadership knows what they're doing. After all, this organization has a storied history of overcoming odds and rising to greatness. As we look at the bigger picture, the Steelers are positioning themselves to be contenders once again. The AFC North is no longer a one-horse race. It's a multi-team battleground with each franchise trying to assert dominance. The Ravens have the dynamic Lamar Jackson, and they're always dangerous. The Bengals are riding high with Joe Burrow, and their offense is explosive. The Browns, with their new additions and solid defense, are also in the mix. But the Steelers, with their rich history, disciplined culture, and smart offseason moves, are not backing down. They're recalibrating, rebuilding where needed, and focusing on the core strengths that have defined them for decades. The NFL is a league of constant evolution, and the Steelers are no different. Every offseason, they make strategic moves to stay competitive, and this year is no exception. The release of Bledsoe serves as a reminder that roster management is a delicate balance. You need to cut some players to make room for others, to bring in fresh talent and new energy. It's part of the cycle of building a championship-caliber team, and Pittsburgh has always been good at that. Fans, I want you to think about the legacy of this team. The Steelers are one of the most successful franchises in NFL history, with 6 Super Bowl titles and a tradition built on toughness, resilience, and a never-say-die attitude. Every move they make is rooted in that history, in that desire to bring another trophy home to Pittsburgh. So while the headlines might focus on roster cuts or signings, remember that these are just pieces of a larger puzzle, one that, if put together correctly, can lead to more glory. And speaking of the future, the draft is a pivotal moment. Scouts and executives have been working tirelessly to identify the next generation of Steelers. Will they target a safety early, maybe a cornerback or an edge rusher? The options are plentiful, and each choice could have a ripple effect. The front office's draft strategy will be crucial for maintaining the team's identity and filling the gaps left by departures like Bledsoe. Now, for the football purists and those who love the X's and O's, it's fascinating to see how these roster decisions influence team schemes. The Steelers' defense traditionally relies on aggressive pass rushers and versatile safeties. With the secondary evolving, the defensive coordinator will have to craft schemes that maximize the strengths of the players he has. The release of Bledsoe might just be a step towards that, allowing younger players to get more snaps and prove their worth. It's a chess match, and every piece on the board counts. Let's also talk about the players that are still around and those who are coming back from injury. The Steelers have a core group of veterans who have been through the battles, players like Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Najee Harris. Their leadership is vital for the team's success. The addition of new players through the draft or free agency will complement this core, creating a team that's not just talented but also hungry and motivated. The team's culture, that steel-hard mentality, is what sets them apart. It's what makes the Steelers a perennial contender. Even in tough seasons, that grit and determination shine through. This offseason, the team is clearly making strategic decisions, and as fans, we should trust in the process. Remember, in the NFL, patience and smart management often lead to championships. The moves they're making now are laying the groundwork for future victories. And as we wrap up, I want to emphasize how exciting this period is for us Steelers fans. It's a time of hope, anticipation, and strategic planning. The release of a player like Bledsoe may seem small in the grand scheme, but it's part of a bigger picture, one that aims to bring another Super Bowl to Pittsburgh. We've seen the franchise adapt and evolve over decades, always finding ways to stay relevant, always pushing for greatness. So keep your eyes on the upcoming draft, stay tuned for more roster updates, and keep that Steelers pride alive. This team has a rich history of overcoming adversity, and I believe they're poised to do it again. The AFC North is fierce, but Pittsburgh always finds a way to rise to the challenge. The future is bright, and I can't wait to see how this story unfolds. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news.